So here's an update on my Jungle Aquascape. It's now about 8 weeks old. The plants in the scape have matured really nicely, which helps create this nice jungle look. But now it's starting to look like a little bit of an overgrown jungle. So now I think it's time to tidy up the jungle just a little bit. And just before I show you how I do maintenance on my aquascape, if you enjoyed the video, give it a like. And if you want to see more updates from this tank, subscribe to the channel to see more. The first thing I'm going to do is move the Slovenia that's floating on the top of the tank. This will just make it easy to collect all the trim plant leaves. You can see the Slovenia has done really well in this aquascape. It's grown so densely it stopped a lot of light reaching the bottom of the tank. Now that it's been removed, you can see there's a lot more light coming through. The next thing I'm going to do is carefully siphon out some of the water. I'm doing this really carefully as I don't want to siphon any chili spores out of the tank. Also, removing a bit of water now will make it easier for when I start trimming the plants. And then I'll siphon out the second amount of water after I've trimmed all the plants. There's been a little bit of algae growth on the glass recently, so I'm just using my algae scraper just to clean it all up. The first plant I'm going to be trimming is the Cryptocoryne Wendetii tropica. I'm just going to trim the leaves that are hanging over the Helenium Telling Green. By trimming the leaves, hopefully I'll get some more compact growth out of this crypt. And then once I'm done trimming this crypt, I'm going to remove the leaves from the tank. You may notice the Cryptocoryne balance has grown quite a lot too. Most of the leaves are probably about 50 centimeters long right now, and it's starting to make the aquascape look a little bit messy. So I'm just going to trim just like the Cryptocoryne Wendetii tropica just to neaten it up a little bit. I'm going to trim away the longer leaves just so that more light can enter the tank. Another thing I like to do is move the plantlets from the Java trident. I can then attach these to a piece of wood or stone and then replant them in another aquascape if I wanted to. So here's the main part of the maintenance that's going to be done in this tank today. It's time to thin and trim the Helenium Telling Green. So right now I'm going to thin it down by removing any excess runners. I'm trying to do this as carefully as I can as I don't want to disrupt the substrate. This is a really important thing if you got carpeting plants. If it gets too dense, the plants at the bottom of the carpet won't get any light and it will start to die off. This can cause algae growth in your aquascape if you're not careful. And also if the carpet starts to get too thick, it makes it harder to remove any organic matter that has got trapped in it. I'm trying to trim it so it's about half its original length. This plant can take a harsh trimming and it will probably grow back in about 2 weeks time. Now that I trimmed back the Helenium Telling Green, I can see some algae that I missed at the bottom of the carpet, so I'm just going to use my algae scraper again to clean up these little bits of algae I missed. Now that all the plants have been trimmed, I'm going to remove the rest of the water. I accidentally broke some of the hardscape when I was doing some maintenance on this tank a few weeks ago. A small branch of manzanita wood broke off which had a bit of anubias attached to it, so I'm just going to use some super glue gel to reattach it to another piece of the main hardscape. I spotted some areas of the Helenium Telling Green that weren't trimmed as evenly as I wanted it, so I'm just going to go over again and trim a little bit more off. Now I'm going to add some clean fresh water back to the aquarium. It's important to remove as many of the plant trimmings as you can. If you don't do this, plant matter will start to break down in your aquarium, which can cause an algae spike. And then once all the trim plant matter has been removed, I'm going to add back some Slovenia. I'm only going to add about 5 or 6 of these as they'll grow back really quickly. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to do an update in another 2 months when this aquascape is 10 months old. So if you're interested in seeing that, subscribe to the channel. And if you have any feedbacks or questions about this aquascape, please leave them in the comments below and I'll answer them as quick as I can.